You are now listening to the podcast for geeks and the stuff they love, where each week we'll talk about everything from anime to movies, games, and prop collecting with the people who create and love it. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Vince.
I'm James.
And this is your Geek Fix.
It's been kind of hard to get together because I think both you and I have been sick off and on. Then James is sick today. He might join at some point. I don't know. So there's that. We've been traveling and things. Speaking of sickness, so I did a live stream this last week to fill in for our podcast, basically, or tried to. And on that day, when the day finally came, because I advertised it in advance for people to be able to watch, and then I had 102-degree temperature, and like James, I the stomach thing, a bunch of stuff. I just felt awful. I stayed home from work. But then I'm like, I got to do this thing now. And my whole plan was, too, I was going to build something and then see if people could guess what it was. And so for that very reason, actually, I have that very build, which I'll let play in the background while we're doing this. So if people recognize this, let's see if Vinz can figure out what it is, too, as it's going along. It'll use up the whole time of our conversation, but at the same time, if you can guess what it is along the way, comment, be the first one to comment in the comment section what you think it is. But at any rate, I was so sick, I broke out this. It's, you have these kits that are, it's not Lego, it's like Mega Block type of blocks.
Oh, really?
Chinese blocks, and they come in kits, and I bought a couple of them because they were related to. I've got another one that I'm probably going to do that I've got actually right here eventually, of something I actually wanted to buy, like a real 1/6 scale version of. But
is it the Iron Giant?
No, I have multiple of those though. Boy, that's a project I got to finish eventually. But on the flip side, but yeah. At any rate, so I try to make this thing, and when you take it out, it has separate bags, and each bag is numbered and lettered. So, like, if you were putting this together, wouldn't you assume that means, like, you start with bag 1A, and then you go to bag... No, you're apparently just supposed to open them all up and then lay them out. So as I'm trying to do it with bag 1A, and I'm sweating because I had a fever. I'm trying to carry on a conversation with people that are, in the live chat with me. And it just, I gave up, actually, mid this live stream. So it's like kind of a horrible live stream. It's like, I put together like 3 pieces and I was like, done. And then I spent the most of the time just trying to carry out a conversation with people that wasn't very productive.
A live stream not that much live stuff.
It was pretty bad. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
But this is what it would have looked like if I would have kept on building and stuff. But I want to talk to you about, because we haven't talked since you guys went on the trip. I went on a couple trips. I feel like I've talked about them more than I want to, because I do have. What I'm really spending all my time on right now is editing my Philadelphia and the New Vegas trips, so they can come out over the next couple weeks and for Christmas and stuff. Yeah, and they are. I also like when I'm editing and I actually feel excited about what I'm seeing, and as I'm editing it, when I'm entertained by it too, that's usually a good sign. And so I'm really looking forward to those coming out, but at the same time, like you guys, I don't know how much you want to release either, because you do have some video and things.
Well,
but
not much anymore. Not much, to be honest.
Not so much. Okay.
No.
As far as you guys did the pub crawl.
Well,
right?
I
End of the world.
I could kick that off. It was a very hectic week. Privately, there was a lot of stuff happening, moving parts. There's so much that I had people on the phone while I was standing in a train going from London airport to this weird village change decided to end up with. With a very shady station attendant. So basically it was full of police, and we were going to get a sausage roll. And James was just casually saying, "Hey, what's going on?" And she says, "I'm not telling. I'm not a snitch. They can do whatever they want, but I'm not telling you what's going on." So apparently this was one of the grittier areas of London where like there was active drug deals and
like Blackpool or something.
No. This was apparently worse. So we got
really?
like
wow.
we got the worst station. So we had to sit outside, wait for Adam to show up. So I'll rewind it back. So initially, we got asked to do visit the prop store in London. And we had to plan the stuff. So we set up a small group. And you, James, and I, we brainstormed about how we're going to approach this and that. I thought, well, it would be helpful if we had someone native, having a driver, having people involved. And my best friend, Adam, he lives up north.
Hang on. The sound all of a sudden is out loud. Say something again.
Hello?
Oh, shoot. What's going on?
Oops.
Oh, now I think we're good. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, we're good. All right.
No echo.
So, yeah. So my friend Adam, I've known him for years, and he lives up north in Wigan. And since it was such a special opportunity, and he and I are big Star Wars fans, I thought I might goad him into being a designated driver. And he had to have an electrical car, and he was also a bit of he has lots of, he says there's some gear regarding cameras and equipment, but he was the one who basically saved the whole shoot because I just brought a GoPro and James brought his phone, and Adam had like tripods and like DSLR cameras, like multiple cameras that we could use and set up, and everything was really great quality stuff, which was just happenstance, to be honest. But so yeah, Adam contacted me, said he was okay with it, but he just had a child like 10 days ago. So he had to consult with his wife if it was okay, and his wife just said, "Go out of the house. You deserved it.
No, that's good.
You know, you need some time off, and also this is a once in a lifetime opportunity." So Adam and
they
myself,
say that. They say that, but
stuff comes back.
Watch
this
out.
was at least a once in a lifetime experience because we managed to get an Airbnb in the middle between the airport and the prop store. And everything was okay, but when push came to shove, this is me talking the footage that we have together, so to say. When push came to shove, Adams got stuck in traffic for like 6 hours.
Wow.
There were 3 accidents on the route from him up north to London, and he basically went cross country, like from the top to the bottom, just to visit the prop store for us. So he was late, and James was really early. So James left at 5 a.m. or something, and then arrived at 7 or 6 a.m. In England. So he was off from the airport doing some fun stuff, and he met some people who drove him around. Some random people who decided to drive him around the countryside and
he went shooting and stuff. Like
he went to a shooting range. Yeah,
yeah.
So I was there in London and just getting messages from Adam that he was stuck in traffic. Messages from James that he just went off to some weird place in the middle of nowhere, and I just arrived there with with everything. And I was in the middle of some private stuff, handling some difficult stuff with work, with contracts negotiations and lawyers and all that kind of stuff. All the while this was happening. So even at the airport, I was calling people. I was in the bus, I was calling people. In the shuttle, I was calling people. In the train, I was calling people and having stuff done. So it's very, very stressful for me, and then also for the guys because they had like delays and everything. And I think James got apart from being so very early and all that kind of stuff, he got a better deal out of to be at the shooting range. So we had to catch up with traffic. We had to make sure that we would, converge, all 3 of us somewhere in the English London countryside. So we decided to use I don't even know what the name is of the station, but we used the train station to get there. So James was there. Okay. James was heading there. I got there by train, and then Adam picked us up with his car, and then we drove to the Airbnb to have some respite. Because we would do the prop store on the second day, which was initially we would do it on the day of arrival, but thankfully because of all the troubles that we had, it was good that we did it on the second day because we needed the whole day to actually go there. And so we spent a lot of time commuting towards our destination. It was good fun. I hadn't seen Adam for ages, like before COVID. He got married during COVID, and we couldn't visit because of all the restrictions, for example. So I brought some gifts for him to celebrate that he got married, and also a gift for his newborn child. Then, me and James met up for the first time in a face-to-face, and it wasn't awkward at all. We just, we were just talking like we are right now, and just having fun and discussing things. And me, Adam, and James really clicked. So it was like three friends who just met, but nothing in between us that prevented us from having fun and doing cool stuff. So us three musketeers were very positively minded, saying that we're going to do a pub crawl because the Airbnb happened to be in the town where the World's End was shot. Like all the pubs that were in the movie with Simon Pegg, and Nick Frost is in there as well, I believe. So all those pubs were in there. So we thought, we're going to go on a pub crawl, and we're going to do all 11 of them or something. But us being very spry and useful guys, and me having a very, very painful bout of gout in my toe. Adam said, well, I want to drink while we're doing the pub crawl, so we're not going to take the car, we'll just walk there. So it was a 15-minute walk, and I was just heaving and puffing.
But you did it the right way, I guess. I mean, that is more in tune with the movie, right?
Well, they had a car.
Oh, did they? Oh, I didn't remember that. I thought they just walked to each place.
Yeah, I actually watched the movie before I went there, so I could get some cues from
it. Did you see any aliens or time warping stuff happening?
At Prop Store we did. But so the thing was, we were halfway there, and we just decided to get an Uber to one of the pubs
locations.
And the funny thing is, like in the movie, the pubs were all being bought up by a franchise, so they all look the same. In reality, back then when the movie was made, it wasn't. I believe. So when we came there, it was bought by a franchise, the same one.
So it's like the same food, same. Oh, that's true with most pubs. It's the same. So. Food and stuff like that, and drinks.
Same menu, same beers, that kind of stuff. So if you're with one franchise, you only have these kind of beers. But thankfully, most of them. So we thought, okay, we're going to do all of them, and we're like, we have time to spare everything, and we're going to do that. Basically, we entered there, we had our food, and we were knackered. We were tired. First pub in, first beer in. I was already a bit tipsy because I hadn't eaten that much that day, and I don't drink alcohol normally.
Right.
It was a celebratory beer. But I forgot that a pint is like this big glass full of beer. That's big. So I was already getting a bit giddy. And then they were like, I was going to go to the second pub. And then we're like, where is it? And then it was like, it's another 15-minute walk. And no, I'll pay for the Uber. I don't care. If you want to go there, then fine. So we had dessert there. And that was the pub that actually looked like it was in the movie. I think they shot some parts of it. And we did some shots. Of some video shots and everything, and outside. But after that, it was like 10 p.m. and we were tired because we were traveling the whole day, and we basically went back to the Airbnb and just slept because we were so tired. And the thing was that I warned everybody that I snore, and all the guys were like, I know I snore as well, and it's okay, it's fine. We were just snoring guys, it's okay. But Adam, the next day, was like, Vince, I didn't know that you could make these bone-shattering sounds that no living person
so nobody
ever
really
heard.
Slept. Oh, no.
I slept pretty well, but the rest
you
was
slept fine, But everybody else. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun Airbnb. I mean, we met the owners, and we had a 3-bed bedroom that we could just pop in and sleep. It was really cheap also. So I mean, it was excellent. It was in the middle. So we would spend it was our halfway point. So if we were going to the airport, if we were going to Prop Store, we had a sort of safe haven in between where we could just stay, rest or upload stuff or whatever for both days. So the next day we went to Prop Store. It was really cool. We had to sign an NDA for several things.
Oh, you did? Interesting.
We didn't really read it, so and we could have just scrolling and pressing.
But the whole thing was like they didn't want you talking about stuff that you saw on the offside of the stuff you didn't pull, or what are the why would they have you sign an NDA?
I didn't read it, but I think mainly it's about the location and what is there. Like basically, I mean, we thought it was a given that we're not supposed to talk whatever's there.
I get you. Yeah.
And we also didn't ask any difficult questions or whatever.
Right.
So there's a lot of behind the scenes footage that I can share with you maybe, which is interesting just for archival sake.
That's cool. Yeah.
Us, leaving the camera on and chatting while we're setting stuff up.
Sure.
But there were some fun things like I think I can say, but there are some props, for example, that are really cool, but not so cool if you have been kind of involuntarily taken custody of. And they are not the props that you could easily move. Like they had a van out there that was used in a music video of a band, and it was a really cool van. But yeah, they can't get rid of it for the love of it.
Oh, really?
It's paper wise, it's difficult to get a car out of England.
Right.
It's physically difficult to get it out of there. It's not that popular of a fan to begin with, because it was just a clip, like a one-off kind of thing. But they do have it. So everybody's like, hey, if you want it, you can take it free, because we really don't want this anymore. And everybody's really moaning about it.
Why didn't he have to move on that one? He could have.
James was interested. But
that's funny.
That kind of stuff. Very, very nice people. A lot more people involved than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
But the location.
They put in, just so everybody knows, I mean, originally, the original day that we were going to do it was the day that you guys were arriving. It was only going to be like an hour or two. On the second day, when they said, well, why don't you come from... Yeah. It's like, wow. Yeah. I mean, that's the majority of the morning, so... Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and there was this. Yeah, I mean, there is some footage, and some was double, and I may have in the whole bin of footage that we have, may have dropped a conversation or two, but all the stuff that we discussed at least, is visible in the videos.
Speaking of movies,
I know what
props,
it is.
I know what you figured it out. I was going to ask you, what is it?
It's Johnny 5.
It is Johnny 5. That's pretty good. Yep.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, I mean the stuff that we saw, and I don't know if we could talk about it, but the fact, I think we touched about 1 million euros worth of stuff that day.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to wear the gloves, of course, to make sure, and there is props that are taken into custody that you have to be very careful with. And the people at Professor do their due diligence, making sure everything's correct.
Well, for those of you that can't see and stuff, honestly, we're not showing any of the props right now, but of course, we posted now 3 videos of the props. You guys got to go and check out. My favorite one was the part with the Batman cowl. Where there's it's funny because now and then I'll edit out like maybe an awkward pause or something that's funny sometimes to smooth it out and stuff. I do that with my videos all the time. But what was funny about that one is like there's this small pause where after you guys had spoken and you kind of looked at both sides and you're like, okay, now I'm just gonna touch it. Yeah. Real slow. You touched it all the time. I know that you guys planned it in advance, but on the flip side, if I didn't know that, it looks like you just were like, yeah, I'm gonna just touch this.
No, that wasn't planned at all.
Oh, wasn't?
No.
Like he didn't give you permission to do that in advance?
No.
Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna touch this.
Yeah. And you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah. That was hilarious. I laughed so hard.
No, that wasn't planned at all. We did think about doing something to kind of prank you. And we would fake a prop. We would find some doodad and have the guy tell us that this is from a movie, very, very expensive. And we would drop it, and we just keep dropping it and breaking it.
Well, you said that James dropped the shield. Did he really do that or no?
No. we said we drop tested it. I don't think he did, but if it did, I think the floor would suffer more than the shield because that thing's heavy.
It was pretty realistic looking and have filling.
It's basically the prop you want to have because it's heavy and the shield of Captain America would feel, and it was molded aluminum, like solid stuff.
Oh,
this
wow.
There was a hero prop,
Aluminium, as they would call it out there.
Yeah. Aluminium in Dutch, but it's no, that was heavy, but it wasn't planned at all. I mean, nothing was planned. We didn't really discuss anything before.
Wow.
It was very ad hoc, very.
But you guys did a great job. Great job of interviewing. The video was beautiful. Everything was done very well.
Yeah, it was just happenstance. I think I had to pay a lot of karma points because of all the stress and all the stuff happening around it. That the actual final product, got blessed in a good way. But also the fact that we did discuss, like, okay, maybe we can do this. Adam was a real help because he is a real good framing eye. So he knew how to frame stuff really well. Oh, sorry.
Well, the one, I mean, we haven't released a video on it yet, but I know. So one of the props you guys saw was the Iron Man helmet. Yeah. And then when James recently put in to buy the Iron Man, the helmet, there's a helmet you can buy right now that has the voice commands. You can say to it, it opens up, either the face opens up, or when you say open the suit, I think it is, then the back like opens and you can take it off and stuff. And I'm anxious to see his, because I want to. Oh, there he is. There's Johnny Five. So Johnny Five was the thing I was building. Johnny Five from Short Circuit, which has its own kind of history to it. These days, people get all wrapped up in that. There is a little thing I think we've been talking about on this podcast before about the fact, it's true, the actor for the guy that was supposedly Indian, it was not, but at the same time, I wanted one of those. I still do. I want a Johnny Five, a good size one, like the one that they had in the second movie. At the very beginning of the second movie, they have all these Johnny Fives that were, and they were remote control. And apparently that was all faked, which I didn't know until an Adam Savage thing that they covered recently. But there is a group that builds them. In fact, you saw it too, didn't you? I think it was you that also noticed it, where they build little miniature about the same size of these Johnny Fives, including of each of the other versions of 7 and 9 and stuff that looked like Larry Moe and Curly and stuff. But I still want one of those so bad.
Yeah, it's big.
But at the same time, is there any props that when you were there, if you could have picked one prop of everything you saw, including stuff that you didn't get to actually talk about, stuff that was just in the background, is there one thing that you were really wanting, something you would have taken?
Well, the Anthony Daniels script, the Star Wars script.
Oh yeah,
with Starkiller and all the original Lucas.
And had annotations in it too.
No, that one he deliberately left out, he said. But then, when we saw the pictures, there were annotations in there.
Yeah.
But the other ones had like little post-its and everything in there. It was with more elaborate. I asked them, like, do you have some unsellables, like that that are too small or too tedious to sell or not worth it? And then basically said, we sell everything. And the fun part was also, like, if you go in a warehouse, like sometimes there is it's difficult to figure out whether or not it's a prop or if it's something from the office, the actual office that they work in. It's just, so there was this, I don't know which movie it was, but it was in one of the cases behind us while we were doing the shoot. There was this very realistic looking sandwich that is totally fake, made out of foam and very well made. And someone had left it on their desk, and everybody lost it because they thought, they misplaced it or something. But people mistook it for lunch of someone and just didn't gloss over it because it was just on someone's desk. And apparently, I think I should say it because they told us as well, but apparently the coffee machine used in the movie Prometheus has actually become the office coffee machine.
Oh, really?
Because
that's awesome.
Because it got misplaced, or people thought it wasn't a coffee machine, so they just set it up. But it was a prop initially, I believe. So that's fun.
So now officially, it's the coffee machine.
It's the office coffee machine.
That's pretty amazing.
But I mean, imagine, like, there was some teacups and a thermos can there. And I'm like, is this a prop or is this
right now? I don't know what is what. Is it real or is it cake?
Yeah, exactly. they compared it like that. It's like, is it real or is it a prop? But I don't know. I have to check the register.
Yeah.
But they do label stuff very well. But the stuff that was there, like they have like some service or some guy who makes custom stands with text on it. And it is not a luxury because it's a necessity to actually figure out when you're selling something or whatever, that you could tell instantly, okay, this is the suit from that movie worn by XYZ, because there's a whole warehouse full of those suits. So they all begin to look alike. And the fun thing is seeing those props up close. You see how janky these things are and how made for not HD they are, like for CRT. Like the Tron helmet, there was an official Tron helmet or original Tron helmet I saw. There was just some how do you say it? Styrofoam.
Yeah,
and someone just grabbed a Sharpie and hand draw those lines on it. And in the movie, it looks like it was like super cool because it was overexposed and everything.
Dan has one. I gotta see. So he did some close-ups of some stuff because he has the helmet and he has the disc. Yeah, and both of those looked really bad.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess they pitched up the ambience and stuff to make them look glowy. So I guess they just had to have the right form. But yeah, well, even the hoverboard you guys looked at, I mean, the foam was starting to come across apart and stuff like that. But I mean, like, these aren't made to be long-term props, So
no, most of them weren't, and also only recently it's become in vogue, so to say, to sell and collect these. And also, which we never touched upon, but something you have to keep in mind, of course, because I have bought something that may or may not have been gray market, but like the Ghostbusters case, like the guy says, "Hey, I bought a warehouse full of stuff from Amazon," and apparently that warehouse was supposed to be cleared and stuff had to be thrown away, but was sold instead, And with those props, like I do know Prop Store because I think in one of the interviews with Adam Savage or something, they did mention like, we want provenance, we want to know where it came from, we want to know.
They told me that too. Yeah. Chris told me that. Or Chuck. I mean,
yeah. But it was great. It was great and very surreal because basically everything was worth like 1 year's worth of salary. Well, you're standing there,
or more.
You're standing there going, And the cool thing was though, because I went, I had a very busy week then. So on. So in the middle of the week we went to Prop Store, and the weekend after that I had to go to Brussels to sign up with Richard Dean Anderson, MacGyver, and the Marty's mom, so to say.
Right.
It was really cool, but very exhaustive. But I actually got someone who was making that's the other comic book, who was making replicas of lightsabers, and they had Palpatine's lightsaber as a replica.
Oh, really?
So I went to the guy with the picture from Prop Store saying, "Hey, guy, I touched the actual prop.
This is it.
Can I check yours?" And I said, "Wow, this really feels the same weight and looks the same. Yours has more detail than the actual prop." And he was very, very happy to hear that.
Oh, that's good.
Because this one was functional. You can make it into put a sheet in it or...
So it actually lights up and everything.
Yeah. So his was more functional than the actual prop. And he thought it was really cool. He gave me his business card. But that was a very surreal experience to just, in the same week, touch the prop and then touch a very well done replica of the same thing.
Well, something that kind of tied us together at the same time as while you guys were in, I'm trying to think if we did a crossover. Was I in Vegas at the same time you guys? Well, same week you guys went.
Same week,
to Prop Store. I was in Vegas, and while I was in Vegas, so Prop Store in their listing, one of the items that they had on there was one of Spock's ears. And when I was at the Prop Store in Vegas, so there's literally a prop store not tied to the Prop Store. This is located, but I have video of it. It'll be inside the video that I did. But I got there and they had one ear of one of his ears.
Oh, wow.
So I went back in the listing. I'm like, well, which ear's which? So, of course, one of them's the right, one of them's the left. So it must be from the same set. and they had it for sale stuff with a tag next to us.
Yeah, some props that we asked for, like props, Spock's ear, were in transit when we were there, going from crossing the Atlantic. So like the big Statue of Liberty from Ghostbusters 2, for example, wasn't there.
Too bad you guys didn't get to see that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but no, I mean, all our wishes were fulfilled, and I mean, the fun thing is like the actual selling point of C-3PO's armor and all that kind of stuff. Really didn't care about it because we just left alone in the corner, and we were just doing all these other stuff. But same thing with James buying an Iron Man helmet. I am now 3D printing Decker's blaster from Blade Runner.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, because I touched the prop setting it up. So that was a cool thing. We were allowed to do. We were allowed to pick up the props to get to the second scene where the hoverboard and everything was in there. And I made sure I touched that gun to make sure how it felt and how it weighed and everything. It was just a stunt prop or a production prop. So it was all plastic and very brittle.
Yeah.
But
it's not the same. The Dan Lanigan's is the one that's the metal
actual one.
One. Yeah.
But, so,
at the same time, wow, that's pretty cool. When are you gonna have it done?
Which one? Oh, it's already printed. I just have to weather it and paint it. I just got transparent filament, so I'm printing the handles now and trying to make them look good.
Oh, to make it look like the resin?
Yeah.
Because they were an amber color, right?
Yeah, they're difficult to make and do. Yeah. But for me, it's just a one-off kind of thing, and it doesn't have to be super detailed.
Something to display.
Yeah.
Well, so if everyone stays tuned, the next episode, actually, I got contacted by Prop Store. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago, I told them it would be a little bit and stuff. They said, "Cool," but we're gonna actually do a Prop Store thing that they asked us to do technically, but not so much that. But we're gonna talk about the movies that are related because these are the worst, somewhere between the worst movies ever made and some of the weirdest movies ever made. But I don't even know if everyone knows about them. So at any rate, but stay tuned. Listen next time.
If you've enjoyed this podcast and want more, stay tuned for that. But also check out our channel. Join the community on YouTube that goes by the same name, your Geek Fix. Be sure to check out Vinz on Twitter at massivedmg_ and on his YouTube channel, massivedmg. Check out James at Mr. Malto4 on Instagram and the Replica Prop Forum. We also want to hear from you, so be sure to send your questions, stories, and other projects to yourgeekfix@gmail.com. In the meantime, this has been your Geek Fix.